You know what's on his hands? More rings than fingers.
I don't even think he knew what type of player he was going to be.
He could win the game without scoring the ball.
Opening avenues for the younger generation.
More than any athlete of his era, Bill Russell came to define the word winner. Bill Russell, the man, is someone who stood up for the rights and dignity of all men.
In the latest project from director Sam Pollard, he takes on the complexities of the great NBA player Bill Russell. The new documentary dropping on Netflix this week, Bill Russell Legend, examines the dominance of the Celtics great on the court and his fight for human rights and racial equality. It's full of great material from Russell's personal archives. Spike Lee called Pollard a master filmmaker, and we're happy he's with us this morning. Hello there, Sam.
Hey, how are you today?
Good morning.
Doing very well. You know, there's obviously so many things you can discuss about Bill Russell, and we will. But I want to start with a basketball question. You know, right now LeBron is kind of closing in on Kareem, and it's reigniting that debate amongst basketball fans of who the greatest is, Jordan or LeBron. Jordan or LeBron. It seems to be those are the two names that are always thrown around the most. Why isn't Bill Russell's name? You know, some people do mention it, but why isn't he always 11 championships, the MVPs? Why do you think that is?
I think it's generational. I think that if you talk to young people between the ages of 20 and 35 and 40, the two players that are most prominent in their minds is Michael Jordan and LeBron James. If you talk to a man my age or men of my generation, we remember Bill Russell as being one of the greatest of all time. So I just think it's a generational thing. I think it's really hard to say who is the greatest of all time because, you know, every generation has a different set of standards and rules for what makes a great basketball player.
Yeah, and I wonder
The type of basketball player that Bill Russell was back in the 60s and Will Chamberlain is a different kind of basketball player today than who LeBron and Michael Jordan were.
And I wonder if that's different standard is team play, because we saw a couple of shots there with Russell clanking some shots. He wasn't a great offensive player, and he was far shorter than the dominant Chamberlain. So what made him such a force?
Well, first of all, he was a man who played with a team. He was a team player. And he understood that as a team player, you had to do everything in your power to help your team win. And just look at the numbers. You saw in the trailer, 11 championships in 13 seasons. No one's ever going to break that because, you know, the NBA is a whole different beast now. Players don't play for one team most of their career anymore. So that's why it's very different. You know, when he used to go up against Will Chamberlain, he knew he couldn't outscore him. Mm-hmm. You know, he knew that Will Chamberlain always scored more points, but he understood that his job was as the defensive center to contain Will Chamberlain as much as possible to let the other members of his team, Tommy Heinsohn, Casey Jones, Sam Jones, John Havlicek, help them take the ball up the court and score. Red Auerbach says very clearly in the film, it wasn't about the number of points you scored, it was about winning. And we all know that the Celtics, they were winners.
Yeah, in terms of the push for social justice, you look at athletes now today, and you know there are some who are maybe a little bit leery of taking a stand and saying what they feel because of losing endorsements and career, what people will say on Twitter, and those are real threats to these guys. But the threats were much different for guys like Bill Russell, weren't they?
Well, yeah, the threats were you could lose your life.
Yeah.
You know, you could really be in trouble. But for Bill Russell, I think the thing to remember is that he understood in terms of where he grew up in Monroe, Louisiana, and the kind of father and grandfather he had. He knew he had to stand up for who he was as a man of color, as an African-American man. And if that meant going down to Jackson, Mississippi, you know, which was a horrific place to be in the 60s, if that meant being a part of the March on Washington, if that meant going to Cleveland in 1967 to support, you know, and to listen to Muhammad Ali talk about why he didn't want to go into the draft, Bill Russell was going to step up and do that, no matter what the consequences. And you know, and I know that there are basketball players, there's sports figures who won't stand up and do that. Fortunately, in the last 5 or 6 years, we've seen more players, more sports figures stand up. Now you can still suffer the consequences, as we've seen with Colin Kaepernick, but Bill Russell was, you know, head and shoulders in terms of being able to do that. And many of the athletes who do what they do now in terms of protests are standing on the shoulder of Bill Russell.
Sam, thank you so much for your time. Bill Russell Legend is on Netflix starting February 8th. Thanks again.
My pleasure.